Hello, I'm Jim Morningstar, Director of the School of Integrative Psychology and facilitator of the Integrative Life Community Building course. The focus of this third class in our series is how to generate and conduct energy in your body, learning to embody and teach energy mastery to others. This component we will examine about the body being an energy conducting system is that energy potential tends to increase by contact with other bodies. The exercise we have with which to experiment is best done with a live partner. Since you may not have one at hand at the moment, let's experiment doing this together on the video, and then you can repeat it later with a willing partner. This will involve your playing with me over your video watching device in a place where you can have some privacy so as to reduce your self-consciousness. If possible, find such a setting now and come back to the video. We're going to engage in some energy moving that may have emotional charge for you. It's not intended to make you feel any specific feeling, but rather for you to observe what energies move freely through your body and what energies do not. First of all, sit facing me as your partner in this experiment and have a nice, congenial social smile. Notice how you breathe and how the energy moves in your body. Now, notice what happens when you stop smiling and have a more neutral expression. Now, notice what happens if you can actually start to stick your jaw out a little bit in a grimace or a menacing fashion. Now, see if you can do this without making a joke out of it. Watch what happens with your energy. Now, make a little growling sound. Again, see if you can do this. Shake your fist and don't smile. See if you can feel that energy. Now continue to make eye contact. All right, keep breathing. Now, I'm going to ask you to turn your back to me. That's it. Turn around the back of your viewing device. Turn your back. You can still hear me. Notice how your breathing feels right now. Now, give me the message with your back, not verbally, but as though your back were talking. Give me the message, stay out. Again, notice your breathing. All right. Now, switch the message that you give with your back silently. Come in. It's safe to come in. Say it with your back non-verbally to me. Again, notice the energy in your body. Notice your breath. Now give the message to me with your back, again non-verbally, goodbye, and take a step away from me. Again, continue to breathe. Notice what you feel in your body and what you feel in your relationship to me. Notice if you tend to be more aware of your upper body than your lower body. Notice what happened with your breathing throughout this time. Now turn and come back to your viewing device and affirm with me that this was an exercise in observing the movement of our energies for the purpose of forgiving and releasing any holding patterns we may carry in our bodies, so that we may become more free, loving, and conscious energy beings with all on our planet. Now, take handout 1, and in section 3, complete what I experienced that was useful to me in the energy contact exercise that we just did was. Turn off the video, complete this, and come back to the video. The third component of the body as an energy conducting system is that the body energy extends beyond our skin. Now, this is probably common knowledge to most watching the video, but not all of us take the opportunity to play with our energy fields and to actually chart them. Let's start very simply. Take your hands and rub them together vigorously. Now, hold their hands apart and move them very slowly together and apart. Notice what you feel. Don't try to feel something, just notice. You may sense an energy potential in your hands in relationship to one another. Now, our body is a huge energy conducting system with an energy field around it. So, as you may have heard of, scientific experiments show that when a part of a leaf, a living organism, or even a part of our body is missing, that energy field of the missing part can still stay there. They've taken pictures of the radiant energy around organisms that have had a part recently missing, and the energy field will still show the outline of the entire organism. Our energy field is sending out radiant energy and receiving from others. We don't often get a chance to experiment with our energy field. Now we have a chance. So I'm going to show you another video clip from the Creative Life Series 2, Body Mastery, demonstrating with Kathy some of the experiments that you and a partner can do together. These are just suggestions. You may come up with other creative things to experiment with your energy field. The purpose here is to increase awareness, and through awareness to increase our mastery with it. Our body is picking up the energy field of everyone else wherever you are. So any person that is in distress or that is putting out a strong energy of any sort in your vicinity is felt on some level by you. Every time a new person comes into a group or a community, all the bodies pick that up and sense that person's energy field. The common needs around integrity of a community entails members knowing who's there and who's not there. That has a very strong physical basis because it makes a difference to everyone. We sense it in our bodies.
The next section that we're going to look at in terms of the energy flow in the body is that the energy field extends beyond the skin. A person's energy field extends outward. This has been documented in current research, and it's something that we all know intuitively, being closer or farther away from individuals. We're going to have an opportunity now to experiment with being at different distances and noticing our own experience of that, charting our own energy fields, as it were, as well as that of the partner with whom we work. We're using our body as a sensitive instrument in this. It's done non-verbally, it's done silently, and so with each step that we're taking, we're monitoring our own energy. We're not worried about the partner. Each partner is taking care of themselves. We're, of course, respectful of our partner's energy. We're not doing anything intrusive to them. This is done by agreement with the partner, one of whom stands still and remains in that position of breathing and sensitive. The other is the person that moves in and out of various sectors of their partner's energy field and their own. When one partner is complete with this, after about 10 minutes, then we'll switch and the other partner will stand still and the opposite one will move. Many different experiments can be done in this. We're only going to demonstrate a few and use your creativity as you do this exercise with your partner. First of all, I know some things already about my energy field in having done this exercise before. There seems for me to be about a 3-foot radius, which is a line of demarcation. And when I step closer to a partner, it's as though I'm stepping into a circle of energy that's quite distinct from when I step out of it. But we're not going just with what we know already. We're going to experiment in moving various distances, various heights around the body, back, sensing with the back of our body, and perhaps eyes open and closed. The number of experiments you do is limited only by your imagination. We will demonstrate just a few right now. Now, I've tended to move a little faster than I might ordinarily if I were doing this exercise for the first time. My attempt was simply to show you various postures that you might experiment with, continuing to breathe. When you do this for about 10 minutes, you could be laying on the floor. A short person, for example, might stand on a chair to see what it's like to look down, and a person who is taller can actually look up from laying position. So let your intuition guide you. After the time is up, do not share, but wait until both parties have had a period of experimentation before you then share with one another on what you observed, what you felt.
Now, some people will get this very directly, and others will, in the beginning perhaps, hardly notice anything. That's because we're not used to tuning into our energy field. We all have the ability to tune in. It's not like some have energy fields and others don't. We all have it, and it's not about judging yourself in comparison to anyone else. It's using the opportunity to find a partner and to begin charting and exploring your energy zones. This has been studied cross-culturally. For example, in the American culture, to have a conversation 2.5 to 3 feet apart is a comfortable talking distance. If you were in the Arab world and talking from that distance, they might think you were snubbing them. A more comfortable talking distance there would be within a foot or two. Americans might feel this is quite intrusive. These zones are personal as well as cultural. Just because most people in a culture find some distance comfortable doesn't necessarily mean every person will. There may be things that happened in an individual's history that make that distance uncomfortable or comfortable. The point of this work today is to find out our own zones and how we can take care of ourselves with them. To be sure, I'm going to remind you all to keep breathing while you're doing this. It's an exercise for the person who's standing still as well as the person that's moving. Some people will find the standing still more comfortable. Some will find it less comfortable. The point is not creating discomfort, though. The point is upping our awareness so that we eventually are more comfortable with all of our zones and taking care of ourselves with them. I highly recommend engaging with a partner in this experiment now or as soon as you can after watching this video, then completing Handout 1, Section 4. What I learned about my energy zones and my relationship to others with them is. If possible, do this now and come back to the video. Some of my observations in doing this exercise is that within the zone of 2.5 feet or so, I tend to get more energy in my upper body. Again, it could vary with a male or female partner. You can do this with a partner of a different sex on separate occasions. We're just observing our associations. When I come up to about 6 inches apart, I notice a great energy wall. Culturally, that's the zone of engaging in conflict or intimacy. I had emotional reactions to looking down on someone as well as looking up at close range. I felt quite differently with the back of my body than the front. Our culture is full of expressions which reflect general attitudes to our postures in these zones, like turning your back on someone. Sometimes postures reflecting opposite intentions. For example, I've got your back versus doing things behind your back. Or getting in one's face, confronting, versus seeing eye to eye. Looking up to someone versus feeling looked down upon. Being on my side versus not facing me. Kneeling before someone as a sign of reverence versus being brought to one's knees. All these expressions signal energetic patterns that are deep within our bodies and psyches. Awareness of your reaction to levels of closeness, positions, and parts of your energy field are part of body mastery. Thanks for bringing your bodies here to co-create our next level of evolution with me. Holding you in my heart as fellow travelers on the road home, I send and receive blessings for our circle and all sentient beings till next class. Blessings in light and love.